Israel is supposed to reopen Gaza's border with Egypt to Palestinians on foot for the first time in nearly a year today. It's not clear whether the crossing is now open, but fleets of ambulances are waiting on the Egyptian side of the border to transport injured Palestinians for treatment in Egypt. Israel had refused to open the Rafah crossing as part of a ceasefire agreement until all hostage bodies held by Hamas militants were released. The final set of remains were repatriated 6 days ago. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the reopening will be limited, with movement in and out of Gaza subject to Israeli security checks. Let's get more from journalist Karim el-Gawhary in Cairo now. Karim, there seem to be conflicting reports. Is the crossing now open or not?
I think what's happening today is some kind of experimental opening. The Israeli side is saying it's checking its systems today. How many people will come through today, we really don't know. They say the real opening is probably starting tomorrow or in the next days, depending how the systems are working.
So we can assume that it is open now on an experimental basis until the full launch, if you will. Karim, how significant a move is this?
Well, this is part of the ceasefire agreement that should have happened already in the first phase of the agreement. It's essential now to move into the second phase of the agreement. So the crossing itself, of course, is the only land link from the Gaza Strip that is not leading into Israel. It was always traditionally a lifeline for the 2.3 million residents in Gaza, and it was often used not for so much for aid, but for medical evacuations, for people going through, for example, students that study abroad, families being reunited. It's a very important gate to the outside world, not going through Israel for the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. And it was basically more or less closed since May 24.
Any sense of how many people are waiting to leave through Rafah?
Well, it's still early hours. The scene on the Egyptian side is we have dozens of ambulances waiting for medical evacuations. When it comes to people coming out, you need to know that there's about at least 17,000 people in the Gaza Strip who are urgently waiting for some kind of medical evacuations. When it comes to there are reports that the Palestinian committee made out of technocrats that is supposed to take over administrative tasks from Hamas is also waiting on the Egyptian side of the border in order to come in.
Give us a sense of the reality on the ground. What restrictions are still in place?
Well, this is not about Palestinian sovereignty. This is under full Israeli control. Anyone who goes in and out needs Israeli approval. The army itself will be not at the crossing, it seems, but it will be some European officials and Palestinians. Then later, the Palestinians who come in and will cross into through an Israeli checkpoint. Now, mind you, that the area behind the crossing is an area of the 50% of the territory of the Gaza Strip that is completely controlled and by the Israeli army, who is basically still stationed there. There will be only limited hours, and the ones allowed to go back will be only the ones which left during the course of the war. We have many Palestinians stranded in Egypt who came out before the war and could not come back. For them, this is no way to come back. The army said that they didn't specify the number, but Israeli reports are saying 150 every day going out, 50 coming in, which is, of course, also basically feeding the fear of that they're more interested of leaving people than coming in. And alone the medical evacuations, if you think about 150 a day and 17,000 people, would take months.
That's journalist Karim el-Gawhary in Cairo. Many thanks to you, Karim.
You're welcome.